Hi guys and welcome to We Are Tottenham TV. You have got the Spurs Kings TV boys takeover, and I'm Marlon and this is Ash.
Yes, people.
And it has finished Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4. Now, obviously, Ash, still buzzing?
Yeah, man, you can't see me. You know what? To be fair, to beat that, if I'm being honest, light work, innit? It's what we do.
It's what we do to City, right?
This is normal for us. Like, we always beat City.
It's the minor teams that we struggle with, not the big ones. Like,
yeah, that's the problem.
As Deji says, Manchester Piccadilly is owned by Tottenham Hale right now. Tottenham Hale is taking over Manchester Piccadilly.
Trust me, bro. Trust me. Well, let's get into it, man.
Let's get our first guest on, and want a big welcome to Ross. Ross,
home. Talk to me.
Stay humble, eh? Stay humble.
We're trying, Ross. We're trying.
Oh my God!
You gotta love it.
Decky Had is open for business.
Trust me, dog.
Oh my God! Oh, I mean, I have to say, I didn't expect that. I wasn't feeling really good going into it, but boy, did that change! Oh my God! I mean, talk about. I mean, I haven't been following Spurs very long. I've only been following it since the season Poch got sacked. But this is one of the best games that I've witnessed. I mean, this was just a complete performance from start to finish. I mean, you just can't say enough. James Maddison, James Mad Messi. I mean, that guy. I mean, how long have we been waiting for him to step up and do what we know he can do? And I mean, just great runs into the box. And Kulusevski. What a player. I mean, my God. He is just, you just watch that guy and it's just not possible. I mean, he's like 6'4", but he just moves like a ballerina, and his skill with the ball. What I've said is he's what we were hoping that Tanguy would be.
Yes.
I mean, he's got all the ability, and he actually has the mentality and the drive to execute it.
I love that, actually.
Yeah, he is. And then in the back, I mean, and of course I was aware. Oh, did Davis and Dragic in back line? Oh no, but I mean, Count Dracula once again. I mean, that guy. No more slander. I don't want to hear any more slander about that guy. I mean, he's gotten a lot of stick like a lot of these guys have, but he stepped up in a big game when we needed him. And he really put in a good performance. I mean, he set up that goal. That was like a Toby long ball over the top to Kulu that.
It was.
And so, I mean, it's just, it's incredible.
Ross, do you think it was a massive call today for Ange to bring back Maddison into the team and actually drop Johnson?
Yes, and they go. There's another, there's another strike there against the Ange isn't flexible. Ange is too rigid. I mean, there we go. I mean, he makes a key change like that. He's not afraid to do that. Johnson was in great form. Maddison hadn't been. He set this team up and look what we do. We go into the champs' home and we take all 3 points and we get a clean sheet. I mean, that's just shows that he is flexible. He does know what he's doing, despite what everybody else might think.
What did you make of, I'd say, Big Dom Solanke's performance? I haven't spoken much on him, but what did you take away from it?
The Dominator. I mean, that's what I call the guy. I mean, he's all over the place, and he does the things that don't show up in the box score, as we say over here. That don't show up in the stat sheet. He's always pressing, always up ahead. When we signed him, I found out I didn't know a whole lot about him. I mean, some, but I saw what a great presser he was, and I knew that'd be perfect because that plays right into what we do. And he may not, be scoring as many goals as we think, but in Ange ball, the central striker, that may not always score goals. That's just not the way it's set up. We're so used to that Son Kane, feed the ball into Kane, the central striker, and depend on him. It comes from all around, but he does all of those little things, presses, wins the ball, and it's made a big difference.
A lot of people question, like you said earlier, like people questions Ange's some of his decisions and stuff like that. But what did you make of his in-game management in that second half? Obviously, when Manchester City were piling on the pressure, and he only really made one sub. Was you worried that he hadn't made any changes, or was you quite confident that what he was doing, he was leaving the team out there to, as he says in the past, to take that pressure on and go through it?
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it was the latter thing. I think he saw that City were, getting chances, but they weren't putting them away. They were, they weren't quite on it. So we were dealing with it well, and City wasn't, it just was one of those days for them. So that, yeah, no, we made the right call there. If they would have pulled one back or something, okay, maybe you make some changes. But we were dealing with it. Just let it be, let it go. Sometimes you have to do that. A lot of coaches get pressure for that, but a lot of them have said in interviews and stuff is sometimes you just got to let them play through it. You just got to let it be, have some patience, and see where it goes.
Ross, do you think that Ange needs to be more pragmatic? Because it seems like when we don't have a lot of the ball, we seem like this super transitional counter-attacking beast. Do you think we've got the squad to maybe be more counter-attacking team, or do you prove that we should still keep the higher line and press ultra high? And what's your feelings to that?
No, we can be that. I mean, and I think we're seeing that, and he's done that a little more this year, I think, depending on who we're playing. And we know that that's the one weakness of City. That's why we were able to have. That's why we've done so well against City in the past. Is when we were playing counterattack football. They're vulnerable to the counterattack, like we are. So he set us up more to exploit that. And yeah, we can do that. It can be done. I mean, it's like I said again, it's that misconception that Ange plays one way only, high line, live and die by it. But he doesn't, as has been shown.
So Ross, Fulham next in the league and Roma on Thursday. Where do Spurs go from here?
As we all know, I mean,
the toughest question of the night. This is.
It is. I mean, look, you go from losing to a team that just got promoted and hadn't lost a game. Hadn't won a game, and then at home you lose to them. Then you come and go to the champs' place and beat them 4-0. I mean, so we can't tell it. But I think this is going to do a lot of good. I think Fulham at home, we usually play them pretty well at home. I'm not too concerned about that. I mean, again, Spurs fans, we always got to have the little bit of concern there. And I think it was Bournemouth after that, right? Away.
Yeah, Bournemouth away.
That could be a little tricky. Bournemouth is one of those clubs that they're scrappy, and if you're not ready for them, they can get you. And we've shown that. So, but no, I think, and we should be getting some people back. I mean, hopefully we'll get some of the guys back from injury for that too.
Do we need them back?
Say, hey, and that's.
I'm playing.
No. You make a good point there. I mean. We go into the deck he had there with Davis and Dragusin at center back, and we keep a clean sheet. So the fact that we can do that is good. That's not a bad thing. That's good that we can do that because that gives those other guys confidence as well.
Yeah, true. Ross, thank you so much, and thank you for calling in. Been a great guest, and as always, come on you Spurs.
Oh,
come on you Spurs.
Come on you Spurs, Ross.
Interesting. That was an interesting call, actually. As he thinks Ange is flexible and does make changes, and we're starting to see that in some of these games.
It is. That's going to be the biggest headline of the Spurs community at the moment. I think that's going to be questions that are flying around. Has Ange proved his doubters wrong?
Yep.
Is he more tactically flexible than some might suggest, or is it just typical Spursy where you do well against a big team that no one expects us to do well against?
This is the problem, isn't it, with Spurs right now? Yeah.
And when the teams are meant to beat, we're diabolical or we're not too good. Do you know what I mean? So, as a Spurs fan, you want to get carried away, but
I think a lot of people are going to get carried away with the way we stream today.
Listen, I'm not apologising for this. Listen. As a Spurs fan, you have to enjoy the small crumbs.
The small moments.
The little crumbs that you get, you have to enjoy them because you don't know what's around Wednesday, Thursday,
it's true.
Sunday.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So,
you just don't know what Spurs are going to turn up, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let's bring out our next guest. Craig, are you well?
Craig David.
I'm very well.
How are you feeling? Go on, explain to us how you are feeling right now.
I'm Craig. Go on.
Well, I mean, it hit full time, and I called my dad, and I just said, like, well, what the fuck have I just watched?
I can't even argue with that.
I don't know how to feel. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know anything.
Honestly, I went into this game with, like, just sort of like, obviously, we do turn up against City, but like, I just sort of thought we're just so inconsistent at the minute. I just thought it's either going to be us getting smashed, or we could get like a small win, or it's going to be a draw. Yeah. I did not think what has happened tonight was going to happen. So yeah, I'm in shock, to be fair. But what a performance! I thought from the minute we got going, to the 90th, we was unbelievable. Obviously, that first 15 minutes was a bit shaky, but from that point, I weren't worried at all.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! So when look, obviously the goal from Maddison, as you said, probably come against the run of play. But once we got that goal, once we got that goal, did you start seeing the confidence in the team going forward?
Oh, the game just completely shifted from what I saw. It's like from that up until we scored, I was like, yeah, it's going to be a long night. But from the minute we scored that first goal and then the second one came along, I thought, because I was at the game at home in the Cup against City.
Yeah.
And it was the worst 90 minutes of my life. And for like good reasons, it felt like the game was about 7 hours long.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I was
remember that.
praying that we didn't do the same thing and concede right before half time.
Yeah,
I think
me too.
I was sitting there thinking to myself, we needed to be the next team to score. We have to.
Same.
And that's what we did.
So, go on. We went 2-0 up at half time. We went in. Were you feeling nervous? Because they obviously didn't get that second goal, that first goal, for like they did it when they played us at home. Was you starting to feel, actually, this could be our night?
I weren't as nervous as I was in the Cup game. The Cup game, I was more nervous because I feel like we weren't as much like on the ball and pressuring them as we was tonight. But I was still that little bit nervous at 2-0, but not as bad as the Cup game.
Do you get frustrated as a Spurs fan that our players turn up against City and then you see a performance like Ipswich and Palace, like Kulu, for example, he went missing against Ipswich. I don't know where he was, but today we definitely saw him. Do you know what I mean? Talk me through that, bro.
Yeah.
As a Spurs fan.
I was on the phone to my dad right after the game ended, and I was literally saying to him, going through all the games that we've lost and the draw against Leicester, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, I'm saying to him, these are games that it just should not be. We shouldn't be dropping points. Like against Ipswich, we lost the game. We shouldn't even have drew that game. That's not a game we should even be dropping any points. And I'm sitting there thinking, all the teams that we should really have been getting points against, we could have been third. But it's all could have been.
Yeah.
It is. It's always, it could have been this, it could have been that. But I think the main thing and the main focus is we've said it probably a couple of times this season, is after a win like this, we just need to find consistency. We have to find consistency. And I think against Roma on Thursday, I think it's a good next game going forward, and then Fulham after that. And then obviously Bournemouth is definitely going to be a challenge. And then, I think if we can get through the rest of this year, I'm not saying we're going to win every single game, because I know I think we've got Chelsea and Liverpool before the end of the year, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, right. Correct, yeah.
But, they're going to be hard games, and I can't sit here and expect much from both of them games, because Chelsea and Liverpool are both on fire. But there's a lot of other games, including the Europa League. We've got Rangers and Roma before the end of the year. I think we can get 6 points there in the Europa League. Well, we should, hopefully. And in the Premier League, I think we just need to secure maybe a sort of a dominant top 5 position. I'm not sitting here hoping we're going to be up the top, like trying to get all the way up there.
Yeah.
But if we can just get a bit more consistency, I'm happy with that.
Was this Ange ball or was this anti-Ange ball? Because I don't know like what Ange ball really is, but I assume that it's more front-footed attacking ball, but possession football. Whereas this was less possession,
a bit of Conte and Ange mixed in together.
Yeah, it was like a hybrid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was weird seeing it. But I mean, sometimes it works.
Are we better not playing Ange ball is what I'm asking. Or are we better playing Ange ball where we have a lot of the ball? I know City forced us to play a certain way, but I'm just throwing it out there just to be...
You know what? Personally, for me, I prefer when we are the front-footed team, but we're finishing our chances.
Yeah.
Like,
amen. I agree.
I.e. the game against West Ham, the game against Everton, the game against Aston Villa. Like, yeah, obviously we went 1-0 down in them games, but ultimately we smashed them. So, but I mean, I don't mind playing this kind of way, especially against a team like Man City. I think we're never going to be, from minute 1 to 90, more possession, constantly on the front foot. It's never going to happen against City. But I think what we did tonight is similar to what Arsenal did to us. Yeah? We was all over them, but they did what they needed to do to win.
Yeah.
We did what we needed to do to win tonight, and more.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
I think we just went overkill today.
Yeah, we had to score 3 or 4, otherwise we know what City's like. But Craig, thank you so much for calling in, and a shout out to your dad for having to listen to you as well. But come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs, man! Big up, Craig. Hey.
Yeah, so obviously, everyone's going to talk about the first 15 minutes, but he seemed very confident after that.
Yeah. I mean, look, I said it. I keep saying it. You have to enjoy the moment, because afterwards, you know, reality will sink back in, and you're only as good as your last win.
Yep.
You know, your last game. So
why do they always do it to us over international break though? That we are like that's probably the worst part of this, right? When you look at all our defeats, right, apart from Arsenal, right, but hurt more because it was a North London derby. But Newcastle, Ipswich, and who was the other one? Brighton.
Yeah.
They make us wait 2 weeks. What are they doing to us?
You know what? Do you think it's too early for us to call Ange out? Do you know what I'm saying? Not say Ange out, but I mean to call him out as a manager, or are people justified in calling him out? Should people maybe wait till January to make a better assessment on him, or is this a flash in the pan type of result?
Are we not allowed to, look, as you've always said, are we not allowed to critique him?
That's what it is for me.
And a lot, like, we obviously done that video about is his time up?
Yeah.
And yes, it was very divided in the opinions, but most of us and most people were like, he needs to improve on this, he needs to improve on that, but no one actually wanted him out.
Yeah.
Right? It was one or two, you know, that wanted him, but actually majority of us were actually saying the exact same things. And for us, we want him to learn from his mistakes, right? Again, it's not. Again, look, today's victory was brilliant. Don't get me wrong, but it is the games against your lower league teams where you need to be picking up.
Did
those
Ange
points.
adapt today? Did he adapt, or was it just forced into?
I think it was a bit. I think he did adapt, and he look. At the end of the day, we both. The biggest thing for us was we was quite surprised to see Maddison in there and not Johnson. So he obviously had a plan in his head.
And he could have gone 4-3-3.
He could have gone 4-3-3, and like you said, he could have gone with the 2 up front. But he didn't. He actually left them very much out wide, and left Kulu out wide, which a lot of us will sit there and say Kulu's not consistent out wide.
He's not a winger,
even though he played well today.
Yeah.
But let's bring out the next man who I haven't spoken to for ages. I don't know about you, but KPV, the Kulu, the Man City killer.
You better ask somebody. KPV, it's me.
What up, dude? What up?
Big up KPV, you know. I predicted the 3-2, you know.
He did. He predicted the win.
He predicted the win. Still, I saw it. Predicted the W.
Yeah, I predicted the win. And
man.
William win. And Kulu didn't score, but got an assist. And Brennan Johnson back on the score sheet. And what a game to do it. They're not the Premier League champions. 5 defeats in a row for Pep. First time in his career. And
first time ever.
First time ever, man.
Hey, who was your man of the match, broski? Who's your man of the match? I want to know. Who was your best player?
Gotta got to go for the birthday boy, the same age as me, Madders.
Hey, the Maverick here. Hey.
You look younger than Madders.
Yeah, but yeah, Madders, man, all day. But if I had to pick, it'd probably be Kulu, innit? But Madders, the birthday boy. Shout out to Kulu and Sean and Werner for assisting the other players' goals. But gotta give it to Madders, man. And yeah, he's now scored what? 2 times for Leicester at that ground and 2 times for Spurs. So he just loves scoring away at City, mate. He's not
Just on that, KPV, do you think Madders can take this form into the next few games? Do you think Ange will play him and start him? Do you think he should start him?
Yes, mate. I think he should. Like, he's got to start him. I know before international break he weren't that well, but he's got to start him on Thursday, and I believe we've got Fulham on Sunday. Is that right? Next week?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Got to play him Thursday and Sunday, like 2 home games, and we can't lose at home to Roma and Fulham because they've got, as you know, Fulham, they've got 2 Arsenal rejects who I don't give a damn about. Like, I don't care.
You tell him, KPV.
I don't care about them 2 Arsenal rejects they've got. Like, I don't really give a damn about them 2. Like, they got battered today, so well done, Wolves, and I don't care about that lot. But we won today, so we've done our job, and we have to bounce back after that home defeat.
Tell him again.
They hadn't won a game, but Ipswich come to us and they beat us. So, but fair enough. Well done to them. But we bounced back, and we've now beaten the champions in 25 days 2 times. And can we play them every week? They've got to come to our house in the new year, and we're going to beat them again. Like,
well,
our house.
KPV, let's hope that it doesn't mean that we need to beat them for Arsenal to win the league, though, yeah?
Whoops.
I know. I'd rather Liverpool win it. To be honest, I'd rather Liverpool win it.
Yeah, same.
I'd rather Liverpool win it, mate. Like, I know we lost at home because why would we predict our own team to lose? I know we didn't want Arsenal in it, but I didn't care. Like, why would we predict our own team to lose to City earlier this year after they would win 4 in a row? I don't care. Like, I was in a pub watching it and we lost. But a few months later we get revenge on them in the Carabao Cup, and then we beat them 2 weeks later in the Prem. So good record. So 2 wins for Big Ange and 2 wins for Pep. But now it's the other way round. Pep made a mistake signing a contract, so unlucky Pep. But good luck against Liverpool, as I call them. Liverpool. You're going to lose, and then we have to play them. And I don't care what anyone says whether we deserve to, if we shouldn't have won at home last year. Jamie Redknapp needs to shut his mouth. We deserve to win, man, because we have to get justice for that Champions League final defeat. And we deserve to win. And people like Poor in their fancy teams, he didn't score. It was actually a massive own goal. So unlucky, but Poor is going to score again. Well done, Poor, who actually, I don't know, signed on the Pep, but didn't play a single game. So he went out on loan, went to Portugal, Lisbon, and now he's got to play his old manager, Amorim, in the Carabao Cup next month in just a few weeks. So bring it on, Amorim. We beat Man United already at Old Trafford. We now scored 8 goals in Manchester. So well done, lads. Bring it. Let's do it on Thursday and the next few games. And who knows? Top 4 is still on. I don't care. I want top 4. And
you tell him, KPV.
Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Europa League. Trebles on, mate. Trebles on.
Hey, on that notice or not? Hey, listen. Big up KPV, you know.
Big up. Always bring a smile to my face.
Hey, love, bro. Good to see you and good to hear from you as well, man. Big up every time, man. See you on Thursday, my broski. Big up, man. Love for KPV, man.
KPV in the house, telling it how it is. We needed some of that with his name.
Oh, guys, if you want the link, it's in the community section, and you have to be a member. So please make sure you become a member to have your say. You know what I'm saying? But
let's bring out the next man who we asked to come on. Said he has to come on. But Jorri.
The Joricho.
Are you well? How are you doing? How you feeling?
Big up Jorri, you know.
I'm doing pretty good.
Man like Jorri. Talk to me, man.
Manchester's Lily White, guys.
Yeah.
He called it early as well.
Called it early. Called it early. You did say it, and I said, you can't call it that. It's too early, Jorri.
You got to go with the flow when it's flowing like it did today. So but yeah, no, I'm of course cheered to bits with this. It was amazing play, and like I said, I think we should change our motto from "Who dares" to the Spurs. Better than the best, worse
Spurs
than the
better than
worst.
the rest. Worse than the worst. Yeah. You can say that.
You can say that again.
But Jorri, a quick question. Yeah, I know we're all happy, positive, but I was going to throw this in quickly. Was Spurs fortunate against City? Because that's what we're going to get. That we're going to get some haters saying it. So I might as well throw it out now. Were Spurs fortunate that City never had their shooting boots on? Because they did have a lot of chances, but Vicario was obviously on his A game and saved a lot of them. Do you think Spurs on another day would lose a game like that against City? Or do you think, actually, no, it comes down to Spurs were just a lot more clinical and City weren't good enough on the day?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think we showed pretty quickly how dangerous we were on the transition. So I felt like City were a little bit reluctant to commit like City can do. And likes to do. So I felt like they stayed kind of they were quite standoffish for the most part when they had the ball, and they were just running into. We were really well organized in defense today, and Radu had a great game. Ben Davies even was really proving his worth, and yeah, we had some scary moments, but those moments were within what you're always going to have in every game anyway. It wasn't the typical Spurs type. We were tinkering at one point in the second half of like switching off a little bit, but then the subs came in, and then we got back on the horse. So I think. I mean, I would love to talk a little bit about Spurs DNA, and because that's been a lot talked about that, and talking about that, front foot football is our DNA, and the Conte ball and Mourinho and so on wasn't DNA, our DNA, and so on. For me, at least modern Spurs football, the kind of the primary kind of shining thing that Spurs has delivered consistently through the years is absolutely world-class transitional football, and that's what we see against these better sides, or the richer sides, the star-filled teams and so on, and that's when we really get to play our transitional football. And I'm not just talking about transitional football as a counter-attack thing, although we were amazing under Conte in that manner. But with Anne's, when we play the best version of Anne's ball, we have a little bit less possession, and we have a much quicker build-up. And we also we bring our attack to conclusion. Where we have the frustration is against the smaller teams when we have too much time to build up, and they have too much time to organize, and then we get the horseshoe effect and all of that. But yeah, I think like one of the things that I would definitely vote for as a real strong contender, as maybe the main thing about Spurs DNA is on the break. There's not many teams in the world that are better than Spurs, and that's been consistent through squads and managers. So. There's some consistency there. Another thing that I also feel like is a part of our DNA is the giant killers. And that's what I love most about this team, is that Spurs is that team that can humiliate the best in the game, and not only get a win, but actually outplay them, and that's what we did today, So yeah, so I was super happy. I think this will go a long way to cure some of the discontent that clearly was brewing in the squad and in the club. So yeah, may long continue.
Jorri, what did you make of Ange and his starting lineup and actually bringing Maddison back in from the start?
Yeah, I was surprised as well, like you guys. I did think though that Kulu, I did think at the start of the game that Kulu would get a free roll, and he did. I mean, it was sometimes on the left even.
Yeah, I saw that.
So he had his free roll, but his starting position was on the wing. So I felt like, and for me, by the way, Decky was the man of the match for me. Maddison had a great first half and just a great game in general, and great to see him score. But Decky, man, the work that he put in and the vision and the fight and to be honest, I think Decky is probably our best contender for a real leader in our club.
I've heard that quite a bit.
Yeah, I think his ambition is something that this club should really put a lot of stock in and try and get that to kind of permeate out to the rest of the squad. There was so many players that have been kind of on off that had a really good day today. Radu was one of them. Vicario had an amazing game.
Yeah.
I mean, aiming crosses and whatever.
Who would have thought it, Jorri? Who would have
thought? So and after this break now that we had, which was such a downer, and then we've heard all these stories about things going on in the changing room and so on, that you could have thought that we were going into and I was kind of almost thinking, okay, the unraveling has begun, but clearly there's still hope and more than that, I would say, to be honest. So yeah.
I wanted to ask another question about that starting lineup. When you looked to our bench, did you feel like we needed to upgrade in that area? Because on the bench we had a 16-year-old centre back, we had a 17-year-old midfielder, then we had Archie Gray, of course, Bergvall, Lancashire up front. So we had the youngsters, and then Timo Werner with Forster in goal, and also we had Johnson. What did you think of that bench going into that City game? Did you think we had many players that could affect us? Or
no, not in a consistent manner. No, they can. These players are young potential stars, and they can come on and do amazing, but they can also come on and just not find their feet. Just before I forget, the Timo's assist was amazing. His run was amazing, and his assist.
It was.
He needs to get the props that he deserves. So, but no, I actually watched a really good video from The Athletic today about Spurs.
Yeah, me too. I watched it as well.
Yeah, you saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing that we're basically overperforming in all metrics except winning and weight structure. We're consistently under the clubs that we like to compare us with in weights and transfer fees, even though we spent quite a bit and so on. But I think I think, and we've seen it. We've seen these rumors with talks with Grealish and others. Whether it's SA and so on, where the weight has been what stopped it. And like I said, I think if we want to talk about consistency, well, you have to consistently put the investment in your on-field squad as the other clubs. Otherwise, you might have a once in a decade or once in 3 decades season and go something that's way beyond what you should be doing. like a Leicester did, and all of this. You might chance on a young squad that turns out that half of them are going to be world beaters and so on. But that's not a consistent approach. The consistent approach is to be there or thereabouts in terms of spend investment in your on-field personnel. So that's just facts. We are consistently under those clubs that we are always disappointed that we don't perform like they are performing. So yeah.
One last question. I don't know if you want to ask a question, but one last question for you. How do we stop this inconsistency? Because it is a massive problem. Where one win, one lose, one win, one lose, one win.
Yeah.
How do we stay consistent, bro?
For me, it is exactly that. We need to get players in now that are going to be more seasoned and that have the right personality. We need to give the reins to the right personality. I think now, as good a game as Madison had today, I think most of us can see that Decky is more of a leader. Decky is more of a reliable guy to take responsibility and try and pull the team up. We have others that are in key roles that are definitely not doing us or themselves any favors. I'm looking at you, Kudi, and so though it's good to have those players, but do not give them the keys to the castle. Give them to the right personalities. We have good personalities in there, and I do think going forward that I said it at the start of the season. I have to give myself some prop. I said Kulu would have a breakout season and become the player that nobody has realized. But in Scandinavia, people have been talking about Kulu for a decade, really.
Yeah.
So as a potential world-class player, and I think Kulu has now started that transition into becoming that absolute world-class player. And I think the mentality of play, of entertainment, that's one of our weaknesses. People want entertaining football and all of that. Yes, sure, but there's nothing as entertaining as winning, guys. That's the most
True.
entertaining of all.
It's true.
So and to think of it as a show and entertainment, that also means that when you're not getting the laughs, when you're not getting the applause, then you kind of go down with the show, and that's not what you're going to win with. That's where the inconsistency comes in. I also, I know you guys, you go really deep into the tactics and stuff. I feel that this is also a cultural thing in like very many squads in Spurs, and this one included, a little bit weak in terms of physicality. I do feel like if we're gonna go and get that six, make sure that he is a strong beast that,
Yep.
can help both in our box and in the opposite box and so on, and of course be the bully in the midfield, of course. But yeah, I think that's the main thing. But I've said since the Villa game, and even a little bit before that, but the Villa game really kind of nailed it for me. This squad knows how to play handball. It doesn't do it all the time. That's another factor or another question. But they know it. I can see they have the IQ. I can see they understand the drills. They have the link up. They have the connection between each other. The question then becomes how come they're comfortable with putting in the performances like Ipswich and Crystal Palace and so on. That of course is probably the culture. For me, it's definitely the culture around the club. But that's also what I've loved about Ants is that even though even Mourinho and Conte tried to put their 2 cents in terms of changing the culture, what I really liked about Ants, especially when he first came in, was that he managed to kind of pile on pressure in the on the club, the board, the culture to change without being negative, without being toxic. When he was talking about top four is not a trophy, when he was talking about he wants to win again and again, and all of these things are really putting on pressure on the board and the staff in the club to up their game, and I think now if we now go on a run, that's the time to put the pressure on the board and so on, and hopefully we can see some support in the January window.
You never know.
Yeah.
They might look at Werner now and think,
Yeah.
let's keep him.
I have
Anyway.
a soft spot for Werner. I have to say, even like I think, I would, I think we should make a chance for Werner, which is just go on, Werner, just miss another one. It doesn't matter. You miss so many, you can miss another one. It's fine. Just to kind of remove all pressure over those things. But like today, his run and that assist was a better pass than it looks. Kind of looks pretty simple and all of that, but the touch of it or the speed of it and the position or the placement of it was perfect. So.
I just want consistency. That's what it is.
That's
for
the
me.
thing. Yeah,
That's what it is.
definitely.
Yeah,
man,
and
but-
that's what we always, because we can't just go and do the deal as is needed. Then we have to, look at the player that has the attitude problem, or look at the player that has the confidence problem, or look at the player that's really good in this but lacks that, and so on. And that has definitely been a huge problem through the years. But I actually feel like the recruitment has been really good since Ans came in. And to be honest, I kind of feel like the reason we went for all these youngsters this summer could maybe be because Ans didn't want to compromise. So his budget only allowed for the best youngsters, not for the best seasoned.
Yeah.
So he went that way, So at least he gets the kind of players he wants, But that's speculation. But at least we have the foundation of a really, really good squad. I think once we get 3 or 4 players in that have more kind of seniority, then we're definitely capable of doing something big, I think.
Jorri, thank you so much for coming on. And as
My
always,
pleasure, guys.
yeah, come on, you
Great
Spurs.
show,
Come on, you
great show. I
Spurs.
was laughing my ass
Love Jorri,
off
bro.
That's what we wanted. We just wanted to bring the pleasure.
Big up, man. Big up, big up, big up.
Oh, mate. Yeah. So, interesting. We did have a super chat before we go to the next guest. Kayla, welcome to Gold on We Are Tottenham on your membership.
Big up,
So
man.
a big thank you. Should we bring out the next guest?
Yeah, man.
6-yard box.
Wow, 6 yards.
Are you well? How you doing? How you feeling?
Bosses, how are you guys, man? You alright?
Yeah, man. We're
We're
there,
good.
man.
We're good.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you.
Talk to man.
Good,
Talk
good,
to
good,
us.
good.
Talk to us, man.
Yeah, it's for me, man. I'm not surprised. I'm happy, but I'm not surprised because if you understand what football is all about, trying to build something. If you
So it
understand
takes time,
that,
yeah?
it takes time, and that's what I keep telling people. You could critique a team after a performance on a Saturday, and then the next week critique them, but don't say the whole process is rubbish. You can't say that. It's too early for that. People just need to chill out, man. I'm not surprised about today's result, and we could do this to any team in the league. We could do this to any team in this league. And people just go like, it's like when we win, it's like, oh, let's wait and see. But when we lose, it's a meltdown. What's his name? This guy was talking. What's his name? Mickey Van der Vaart was talking. I think it was after the West Ham game. He had an interview and he was saying something like that. It was like this season that he started understanding where he needs to be when we are in transition. Like most of the guys were talking among themselves and they were saying they were just trying to understand where they need to be when we are in transitions. And sometimes it takes time before players understand something. And the manager don't want to complicate things by saying, oh, no, you know what, guys? Let's strip you all up. we're going to change it. We're going to play this way against Man City, play this way against Ipswich, play this way against, and it's all confusing. You have to get the plan A right properly. When you nail that down, then you can start making little tweaks, and these guys are they're learning. They're just learning how to play this system, and they're doing really well. And people keep asking the question, why are we inconsistent? Why are we consistent? Inconsistent. The reason why, because we are still learning the process, and that's what you get.
So, Mr. Coach, I'll call you Mr. Coach here, because he said a 6-yard box. I like the name. Why would you say, in terms of the pyramid, like in a business sense, where are we at the moment? Because a lot of fans, are saying get rid of the coach because he's naive. He plays this gun-ho way, and it leaves us open and exposed. Obviously not in this game, because we were pinned back by City, and we played a bit more low block or mid block, and we hit them on a quick transition. Now, when it comes to teams that are Fulham's going to be a great example, or Bournemouth, do you think we'll struggle against teams like that, where we have more of the ball, more possession? Because that seems to be where we're a little bit less, ruthless compared to what you saw today. Do you think going forward we might struggle against those teams? Or do you think today's the start of something where Ange's going to see... Can we go on a run, basically? That's what I'm asking. Can we go on a run?
No, for me, like I said...
Was it too early?
No, for me, like the way I look at it is like, the Poch team, when they go out, after I think it was the second season, you just get that thing when it clicks. And when they go out, we're going to give anybody a game. And we're going to probably... Then I used to go into games and think, yeah, we're going to win this game. And I've not had that feeling yet. And that's why... And I think most fans should put themselves in that kind of situation as well. And think,
that's what you're saying.
You need to understand. You need to get that feeling of when you go out, when the team goes out. And for this team, it's all about taking chances. Whatever team we play against, we created so many turnovers or chances. When we do take those chances, we're going to win games. And it might not be like this season, it might be towards the end of the season or maybe end of the season where the manager needs to make a couple of changes in terms of bringing in players. Because some of these players might even look at the system and say, oh, wow, I've tried so hard, but I can't cope with it anymore. So some of them might be left by the wayside. They might have to leave. But it is a process. And when you tell people it's a project, people go, oh, I don't want another project. Like they'll be saying 25 years. We want this guy to come in and fix it in 18 months or 19 months. We're like so desperate for success, and we keep carrying baggages as well. I was watching today's game. People were saying, we're going to lose this game. We're 2 goals up. And they were getting, brain gymnastics going on around me. And I was just like, I got myself another bottle of brandy. I opened it and I was just thinking, because I was just so relaxed, because I saw what they were doing, the way we were defending. And sometimes we need to leave the baggage behind, believe in now. Believe in now. Yeah, exactly. Believe in now. You just believe in now. Believe in the process.
6-yard box, though, just on that. Do you think a lot of people have that PTSD where we have been burnt before and we have been burnt by this club to the reason why they are carrying that baggage?
She broke my heart before.
They don't want to fully commit because they know they fully committed before, especially when Conte came in. A lot of people fully committed and then the club turned around and ripped it all up.
No, she's done it again.
Yeah, but you got to if you're gonna be like that, I used to tell some of my friends, I'd be like, you know what? Don't come out, don't watch Tottenham play, yeah. Go away. Come back when we are winning games. Come back and watch them then, because you're just gonna give yourself that potential. Because I keep saying to people, you gotta have to be in a kind of situation whereby if you're gonna be thinking about it's gonna go wrong, then you might as well not come and watch. It's just like life as well. If you go for a job interview, you don't get it, then what are you gonna do? Sit at home and watch Netflix. You have to come out and go, man. You got to leave the baggage behind, and that's what the manager is trying to do. Just leave your baggage behind. Forget about 25 years of not winning anything. This is now and here and now, and let's see what happens at the end of the season. Let's see what happens. People going on about
from then.
Yeah, let's say at the end of the season, people keep going on about we have to win a cup now. Who gives you the right? You could play City in all the cups apart from the Europa League and get knocked out. What are you going to do then?
Not if we play City.
All right, so what's
We
your
love to play
expectation?
City, actually. Yeah, we love to play City. But, you know,
Coach, what's your expectation then? What's your expectation for the season? Because you're saying, right, you're not phased. It's going to take time. So where do you see Spurs finishing, and what do you expect trophy-wise, if a trophy at all?
for me, I don't. Trophy-wise, or saying trophy-wise is like, because I believe you have to have a good team to be able to do anything. You have to have that team.
So you're saying this team's not good enough then? Is that what you're saying?
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. That's what I'm saying. We are not there yet. We can see from the inconsistencies, like, you know, we are not there where we want. And Ange keeps saying it as well. He keeps saying we are not there yet. You know, like people get carried away every time we play good football, and you know, when the players are saying that they are just understanding the system. You know, I just thank God that fans don't run the club. That's another thing. If you could have sacked Ange by 2 weeks in a row, man, you know, God knows how many managers. We'll have had about 10 managers in 10 weeks now.
Hold on, 6 yard box. Are you saying that Daniel Levy is a fan? Because that's what he does. He sacks managers left, right, and centre.
No, but he's smart though. I think he's smart because he knows. As soon as the fans start making noise, man, I don't think he watches anything. I'm not sure he even has time to pay for Netflix. But I don't think he cares about that. But he has to be in a position whereby you have to trust the person you gave the job to, and you have to give him time to deliver. You know, whatever that is at the end of the season, we'll see. So it's just a case of
what player do you think is good enough for the system then? What player do you think we hang on to, or is none of them of the level? Like, where do you sit on that? Who's off the level to make us move forward? Who do we build around?
I think if you look at it now, I think most of them are doing what the manager wants them to do. I think the manager will be able to make that call, you know, because sometimes managers see a lot behind closed doors than what we see. So maybe after today's game now, so one of the players now in training, you know, on Monday is not doing what the manager wants him to do, or he's not doing it consistently in training, you know, and then the manager will look at him and the players might even decide, I can't do this because I'm knackered, man. You know, inverted wing backs and all that kind of stuff. I can't do this anymore. So the players will make that decision. But so far, so good. Everybody's, you know, playing. And when we play today, man, we just cut City open left, right, and center, man. They couldn't cope because the way we opened them up. Every time we went forward, we looked like we were going to score. Every time. So, you know, it's just the time. It's just a case of let's wait and see what happens at the end of the season.
Okay.
Thank you, 6 yard box. Been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, man, you have to shout us.
Life lessons and Spurs lessons in one hit.
Are you a member on our channel? Are you?
Spurs Kings TV,
bro. Come on, you got to support the man, them, huh?
Oh yeah, I have to now, definitely.
Thank you, coach.
But yeah,
all right, but you're the tactician, man. I copied you. I always copy your playbook, like I said about
What a joker. But thanks, bro. I appreciate you, man. Take care, man. Nice.
Should we get on to the next guest?
Yes,
Who we got on next?
We got
Kayla.
Well, I'm Kayla.
You all right?
You're good.
Are you on? Oh, you're on mute.
Mickey.
Mute.
Mickey, unmute yourself so we can hear your voice, man.
Good?
Hello. Yes, we can hear you.
You good?
All good, yeah. Of course I am after that one.
Jeez. Tell us, man.
Tell us, how are you feeling? What did you make of it?
Talk us through the game, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've definitely been off like the socials and stuff for a bit, just given everything that's happened before, and I'm just sick of a lot of the BS and speculation. So I was just kind of curious to see what would happen.
He's lost the dressing room.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those games, like anything can happen, and I definitely didn't expect it to go exactly as it did. But like, good thing I'm the only one here, and my boyfriend's not, because I was definitely just like screaming on the top of my lungs.
We'll have the neighbors calling the police.
Yeah, exactly. Good thing we're in a house, not an apartment. But yeah, I mean, what a way to celebrate your birthday for James Maddison there. So.
Yeah, big James Maddison. Were you surprised that he was brought into the starting lineup today, considering that he's been out of favour the last few weeks?
I don't know if I would say surprised. I was curious as to how he was going to set up, just because we're, kind of low on numbers and everything. But obviously with Decky, you can't really be dropping him right now, and you wouldn't want to. This is, if anyone wants to play in this game, it's him. So I was curious to see how it would go with him out wide. But no, Matters did amazing. It was really good to see him out there playing the way he did. So yeah, I don't get too hung up on like, who's his best like starting 11. I think it just depends on who's available, who we're playing, and how they're going to play against us. I don't really get caught up in like, oh, he's dropped. Like, no, they're both great players. Maybe one's just a bit more suited than the other for this particular game,
Who was your man of the match? Who was your top player? I know it's a hard question because there were so many, but
I know it really is hard.
I think Marlon's is Vicario's. Is yours Vicario's or Marlon?
No, Saar for me.
Saar for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I would say Decky just because he was just so integral into a lot of it. But I mean, that's the good thing. It's hard to choose, right? Everyone played a really good game, and that's what you need to win against these kind of teams. Otherwise, you're not going to make it up very well. So, but yeah, like Vicario did really well. Honestly, the announcers were starting to piss me off. It was just like, just ragging on him every time. It's like, well, he made a save, but hit him in the chest. I'm like, did he not make the save? Like, what are we talking about here? So,
they be haters from everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Really?
Me, man.
I know. And it's just like every time a ball comes in for like a corner, it's like, oh, this has been a sore spot. I'm like, has it though? Like, I think we're just have a little PTSD from last season. Like, it's
definitely,
improved. Can we not agree on that? So, yeah.
When we went in 2-0 at half-time, were you feeling confident with the second half, or were you feeling a bit nervous like a typical Spurs fan will?
I'm never not nervous until the game's done. Like literally last week.
True Spurs fan.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not even just that. I think it's just the Premier League, right? It's just this level. Like literally anything can happen. And I think almost any team on any day can win against anyone. So I don't really, that's why obviously it's upsetting to see your team lose, but you know what they can do. And that's why you like support them and get upset when they lose. But I just wanted them to go in with a clean sheet at the half, like, just finish it off strong. And then I thought if we could just like kind of stay strong for the next like 10, 15, it was going to go a lot better. Just stay mentally strong.
Cool. What are you looking forward to in our next game? Because we have got Roma and we have Fulham coming up. Do you think we can transform and bring this type of momentum into those type of games? Or do you think it's a symptom of being Spurs that we win one, lose one, we're up and down? Or what do you think going into the next game? How do you feel about it?
I don't know. Maybe I just haven't been a Spurs fan long enough to kind of have that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how long have you been a Spurs fan?
Yet. But like I said, I think like any game, any day, anything can happen. And it's just the hardest part about becoming a champion is having that consistency. And a lot of that is mindset. And I don't think, or it's kind of yet to be seen how many players have that. I think Decky is one of them. I think he's really like come into his own a lot this past season. He's been made the captain of Sweden. He's just like up for a game like this, but they have to be up for every game like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
And I think a lot of those lower teams, you can't take that for granted. Like you can't just like, oh, they haven't won a game, this is going to be easy. Well, it's not, and it never is. So it's hard to come out with that kind of intensity in every game, but that's just what you have to do. And this is obviously a very like congested fixture time too. So I think a lot of teams will struggle at some point just to mentally and physically be on it. So yeah, it's just obviously a time where the whole squad has to step up and do their part.
And Kayla, how are you feeling about Ange at the moment? Where are you sitting with Ange and the whole,
I've definitely supported him from the beginning. I haven't wavered from that at all, honestly. Like I said, maybe I haven't been a fan long enough to be as impatient as a lot of fans are in terms of, winning things and whatnot. But I do think that things are a process. And just like I used to play too, and I think I would have liked to have played for someone like him. I think as a person and like as a coach, I feel like he's just kind of like, it's becoming like a boys to men kind of thing. And he's very much a guy where, he'd rather like die on his feet than live on his knees kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I just really respect that. And it doesn't matter where he's going, like who he's playing against or where he's going to, like, you know, City at their home ground, he's going to go out and win. And like, I respect that. That's how I would want to go. I would, you know, not to just like bring other teams into it, but like be Arsenal and to just be like going to a game to not lose versus to win is not something I respect. So that's just how I feel. And that comes with like its ups and downs. But that's just how I would want to, like mentality wise and philosophy wise, go about it as well.
Before you go, are you a member of Spurs Kings TV?
No.
You've got to sign up. You have given us some great analysis, so you need to be a Spurs Kings TV subscriber.
We need to have a chat. We need to have a talk. So
all right,
make sure you drop us a message.
Yeah,
because we want to hear more from you.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Subscribe,
I definitely. I get, obviously, like on YouTube, you get things kind of thrown at you based on like what you listen to. But like I said, when things just get a bit too negative, even when things obviously are a little bit shit, it's just like, hey, you know what? I've got enough things going on. I don't need to like bring this down. Everyone go touch some grass. You know what I mean? Like go for a walk after this. Come back to me.
I can relate to that. I can relate.
So yeah, exactly. So that's, I still need to go for a walk. So I'm like buzzing now, but.
Kayla, thank you so much for calling in. It's been an absolute pleasure. Make sure you call into We Are Tottenham TV. A lot more great analysis. And thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Big up, man.
Should we move on to the big man himself?
Yes.
We can go home now. He can take over.
I know, right?
There you go.
Hey, thanks. Hey, Brian.
Ashmatic and Marlon brother and everyone in the chat. Hope you're good. What the hell just happened? It was never in doubt, was it? Never in doubt. We all went in there thinking, hey, what the hell just happened? Honestly, this football club, for your blood pressure, mate, honestly, I live with, you sit there like, what the hell has just happened? I cannot believe what I've just witnessed. I cannot believe it.
Brian, like me and Ash, when we started today, right? I think we both said what we wanted to do was just bring some fun and energy to the stream because we'll be honest, we're both expecting a battering, not a battering, but we're expecting a defeat.
I'll be wrong.
But the energy kind of went, like the players gave us just some more energy. Like first 15 minutes was a bit sketchy, but because nothing was going in, and literally we just started to feel the confidence that they were doing. So I can only imagine what it was like for you.
You know what it was yesterday? I said to myself, it's like, right, City don't lose at home, we don't win away.
Yeah.
Manchester City have key players coming back. We have key players out.
Yeah.
Pepper's just signed a new contract and is coming under some heat from the fan base and the media. I said, 2-1 Tottenham all day long with all that. And I was just joking. I was like, and literally, do you know what? Saw the lineup. We'll talk about the players in a sec. And then when you saw Bissouma get a yellow card in 10 seconds, you're like, oh, right, that's him. He's got to be careful. Then I don't know how they didn't score in that first brief spell. But my word, after that, do you know what? And I will say this before we start talking about the players themselves, every single player, from Vicario to the substitutes, gave absolutely everything for the cause today. And Postecoglou apparently said he was coming out and he said he's going to make changes. And I've said I've been very vocal with it. I will never turn my back on a manager. I'm not starting with Ange now. Well, he's going to make those changes. And it had a huge impact in today. And now let's just hope moving forward. Because I heard you, I can't remember who you was talking to, Ash, but you were asking, it might have been Ross when I was on the train home, when you're saying, is this Ange ball? Was this anti-Ange ball? It might have been you, Marlon. Do you know what? This brand of football that we played today was magnificent against the best of the best. This football, do you know what? If implemented right, not saying, now we're going to go and smash everyone, but we look more together, we look more cohesive, the press looked better, the teamwork looked better, the attitudes looked better, everything was night and day from Ipswich. And you can't just, if it had been the other way around and we'd lost to City and then did this to Ipswich, people will be going, it's only Ipswich, blah, blah. we've just been up. Man City have lost 4 games in a row, now 5. Boo hoo hoo.
Crisis.
They haven't lost in, I think it's 52 home games in the Premier League. And we've come. Listen, today it is credit all round to Ange Postecoglou and those players, without foul.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
But the question I was posing to most people was, like, in this game, we had less of the ball. So City had like something like 58% of the ball.
Yep.
Or I don't know, 52%. I think we had 48. So we had less of the ball. Now we're going to come against teams like your Fulhams and your Bournemouths who are coming up. Do you think we're typically going to surrender that possession? Because I brought it up before because I saw us against Brentford at home, and the Brentford game when we beat them, we had either equal amount of possession or less of the ball. And we did a similar.
We did have less of the percentage. Brentford had more.
Yeah, Brentford had more of the ball. We did a similar type of performance. Do you think moving forward we can see performances like this, or will it be more of the typical Ange ball where we have a lot more of the ball and we find it hard to break teams, and then they do the reverse to what we did to City on us?
Well, you know what it is though, Ash. When we've had a lot of the possession, we've had so many chances. And not taking them on the final ball.
Like City today.
What I'm saying is, if you look at Ipswich, we created a lot of chances. We just couldn't take them. And then the lack of battle, the lack of fight was there. We had less of the ball, conserved more energy. And when we had our chances, we bloody well took them. Don't get me wrong, listen, Man City had a host of chances. Vicario made some incredible saves. I heard Kayla saying before what the commentary was saying, where she was with that, where they just hit his chest or straight at him. So what?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
They're either A, straight at him, or he's got his angles right, and he's got a clean sheet. Mate, we've gone to Manchester twice this season, and we smashed them 7-0. We scored 7 against the Manchesters without response. Do you know what? We'll get into the players now. One person I'm going to call out immediately, Ben Davies. Honestly, I was talking to Ben on his way home, and I've been talking to a few other people. Do you know what? If you look at that defence today, Dragushin, if you're going to pronounce it right, and Ben Davies looked very, very composed. Yeah. They look very composed. They look more aligned and in control than some of Romero's performances. Now, I'm not saying, oh my God, I want these two to start over Romero and Van de Ven, but there was a base there. Kulusevski, who I did not want to see at right back ever again, my God, they were sensational. Absolutely sensational. Porro looked better. Mate, it is just a very... Listen, today, I know there's people that will still be saying Ange out. You never hear that from me, and people have got their right. It's one game. Let's see if people have their rights there, but you've got to be able to give credit where credit is due.
Yes, agreed.
And this is the thing. You know what? Listen, you know that I'm very outspoken on a certain person. I'm not speaking about him today. There's no need to, but I will go for him whenever I can. But I will say, well done, we got players in early, or well done, you did. You've got to be able to, even if you don't like a player or you don't like the manager, you've just beat Man City 4-0. 4-0. That don't happen very often to Manchester City or a Pep Guardiola team, period.
Yeah, when is the last
time? Or a team that are champions and haven't lost for 52 games at home.
Exactly. And we have just wiped the floor with them. It could have been more. Listen, I mean, so to sum up how crazy this day was today,
I hit the post.
Timo Werner made Kyle Walker look like a tortoise for the run for that goal. He just zoomed past him.
Age, yeah.
Like, right. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kyle Walker played 90 minutes, but
tired legs.
Kyle Walker does not get taken over or outrun. He went zooming past him. Listen, could we have been a bit tighter in the 15 minutes? Were we lucky not to have conceded in that first 15 minutes? You have to say yes. But they didn't think, oh my God, we're under the cosh, we're under siege here. And I will say, a player that I've been very, very critical of, James Maddison, well done. That's what you are capable of doing. And I saw Paul O'Keefe said apparently him and Ange had a heart-to-heart this week and they've cleared the air. Well, carry on clearing the air, because today, honestly, I can't pick a bad thing to say about the performance, apart from that first 15-minute spell and Bissouma picking up a yellow card. But that is, that shouldn't even be a talking point right now. It should be, we've won 4-0. Can we now do this against smaller teams, without disrespect to obviously everyone with Man City, when these Fulham games, the Bournemouth's away, and don't forget Bournemouth away have beaten City and Arsenal. Can we now?
And they lost today though, didn't they, to Brighton?
There you go. So but this is the thing: can we go there and put in performances like that? And it doesn't always have to be gun ho, 50 miles an hour, overlapping with the fullbacks the whole time. I mean, I think I've heard Destiny might have done his hamstring. Yeah. I don't know if that's true or that's just rumours or whatever.
Free
but listen, how can you not be delighted and happy as a Spurs fan today?
And that's
with
what
a
we said.
Like that?
Yeah,
with a performance like that. You've got, listen, like I said, there's people that will still go, oh, Ange needs to go. And right, you may still feel that way.
Brian, does this performance, because both me and Marlon spoke about this, the lack of a DM from Man City being ultra open on the counter-attack, does it kind of highlight to Spurs fans that actually we really do need physicality? We need a defensive midfielder going into January.
I 100% think we do. 100% think we do. It's whether we bring one in and whether it's hard to bring someone in January. Because what I want to do is, if we're going to bring in a number 6, go get a very high quality one, not one that might be good in 2 years. Because if we can see that this could be a huge position for us, or really steady the ship, then you have to go and get someone ready-made to jump in and walk into that first team. Just like look at our window. Solanke came in, he's the only first teamer, regular bang that's come in. Well, if we're going to do that this window, I think if we're going to briefly touch on the window, I think we need to get another left back. For me, because it obviously the position, a left back, a goalkeeper, and a number 6 would be absolutely. But they need to be. I don't mind with the left back if it's that Drogo, you know what I mean, not an established, because we know Destiny is. Goalkeeper, we need to find a high caliber goalkeeper that is prepared to sit and really compete with Vicario. And then what we got to look at is if a number 6 is the route we're going to go down, or if that's the avenue and finally decides, I need a number 6, then don't go and get one for 2 years' time. Don't go and get one that might be a bit. Go and spend the money and get an established, ready to walk into that first team and make an impact immediately. But that's again if Ange wants that number 6, isn't it?
Anything else?
No, nothing. I think you summed it up nicely, Brian, as per usual.
Big up,
well, thank you, boys, and hopefully I'll be able to make sure I see you when I'm back in April, as well as someone else that's about to come on the screen. I'm going to stay in the back end and watch this because I'm going to be entertained. I want to be entertained, as the fan base says. So I'm going to stay behind for this one.
All right, Tottenham away's finest.
Thank you, Brian.
Tottenham on tour. Tottenham on tour. Tottenham on tour. Yep, big up.
Get off the phone. You're about to come on. Get off the phone. Look. He's ready. He's ready now. He's ready. Yeah, get the headset on.
That is hilarious.
What in the world do you want?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? I thought someone was in front of me, so I was like waiting. I was waiting, bro.
To be fair, the chat's been asking for you. To be fair, they'll be like,
where are you?
Where's Mr. Box Office? They need the entertainment.
I was on the football terrace, bro. I was on the football terrace telling me that I don't look happy about being happy about this victory, but it's a joke, really. But you know me, Asthmatic, yeah? You know me, Asthmatic. You know me,
He's come
Marlon.
to get his therapy.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
yeah, you know me, Marlon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an honest guy. I said, I've even put on Mr. Box Office TV right now, an exclusive on the channel, by the way, because I'm back now. I'm back now.
then.
After being retirement, buff. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So, like, you know what I mean? If you don't know, get to know. You know what I mean? Like every single time. You know what I mean? Yeah, because we like that Caribbean music every single time from Mr. Box Office. But the point is, yeah, right? I'm happy. I'm happy because it was a great performance. I can't complain.
All right, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
He just said he's happy. Let him go.
Go.
Ask a question.
Carry on. I want to ask about, obviously, it's one game, but a lot of people were saying Vardial is the best left back in the league. I'm not saying you said that, but a lot of people were saying he's like a top left back, innit? Plays for Manchester City, does his thing. Now, a certain Kulusevski played on the right-hand side of that midfield. So the matchup
Juventus reject, yeah.
The matchup was Vardial versus Kulu. Did you think Kulu had a good performance? Do you think like Vardial looked a bit out of sorts compared to when Kulu was there? Was it because of Kulu that Vardial didn't really see much do too well as a defender, as a left back?
Today, I can't fault Kulusevski, but I think that's why I say that he's very good in a counter-attacking team, because I think that was a fantastic counter-attacking performance from Tottenham, pressing-wise and counter-attacking-wise as well. I think that's what I have to say this. Big up my boy Brian, by the way, who's in the back room, by the way. Big up to him every single time. I would say, yeah, he was one of our best ones. Maddison was absolutely fantastic, and I've got to say, Sarr is playing well as well. You know what I mean? But again,
I respect it.
It's going back, and also, by the way, people, I've said it on my channel, Mr. Box Office TV. I don't want Romero back in that team right now. Sorry, my defense right now, no, because if we're gonna have a competitive squad, if this is a competitive squad, right, we've got to have Davis now and Dragusin in defense now. Sorry. Right, now, Romero, you need to fight for your place now, bro. This is now your time to start fighting for your place. Not 12th for Real Madrid now. No, you're back. You know, I want you to compete for your place. Sorry, if you're getting back into the squad, if you're getting back into the team, that's the wrong decision. Sorry, right? So no, we're not doing this. Sorry, that's it for me. But yeah, back on Kulusevski. I'm not going to have a go at Guardiola because I think he's still got a lot of things to develop still, right? But today, I have to be honest, Guardiola, Kulusevski, Maddison, brilliant. I've got to be honest. You know what I mean? Like the first goal and the third goal was absolutely fantastically taken. Honestly, the skill from the cross from Kulusevski and the volley from Maddison, that's where you want Maddison. That is where you want Maddison. You know what I mean? That's where you love Maddison. You know what I mean? That final third, he can hit it straight away. You know what I mean? Yeah, the third goal was actually very, very good. I've got to be honest. That goal was very, very good. I have to be honest. You know,
it was filthy.
Showing again why I kept on saying Poro is better on the final third than he's defending wise, because he just still made mistakes. Let's be honest here. You know what I mean? But you know, I think Man City, we absolutely done them. I'm not going to make fun of Man City because they have got problems. They have been highlighted. You know what I mean? But when I go back to what I say, well, this game's great, but then we look at the next fixture and we look at the fixtures over, and that's when we start making asking the questions. You know what I mean? Because
do you think? Yeah, it's a quick one. Do you think, because I've mentioned to every guest now that Rodri missing and actually Kovacic, they had no number 6 basically.
Yeah.
Now you've seen how we've torn them to shreds. We've beaten them 4-0. Do Spurs need that number 6? Because City are a top team and they've got no number 6, and look how we've basically put them to the sword. If Spurs have a solid DM in that team, could we start to perform a little bit better?
100%. 100%. I've been saying we do need. I mean, it doesn't change my opinion on the midfield, right? Because let's be honest here, I'm not going to have a guy a good one because he's a season winner, right? The young boy, yeah, he looked a bit of a mess right now. Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? But for me, that would be the ultimate for me. I think we do need somebody that's either experienced or someone that has got that sort of role in the team. Because I think that would help. It helps players like Madison and Kulusevski to express themselves because they don't need to worry about it. You see what I'm saying? You know, because that's what made Man City what Man City were, what you're seeing with Arsenal, what you're seeing with now Chelsea at the moment. You see what I'm saying? So, and I think that will ultimately help us be more expansive. You know what I mean? So we'll be have a license to do what we're doing. You see what I'm saying? Be a little bit more gun ho. You see what I'm saying? Because at the moment, I think what we did very well today is that we defended very well, especially in that second half. Yes, Man City did have some chances, and if they did take their chances, it could have been a different game. Yes, but we were very compact and we did very well, and we broke very, very quickly as well. That fourth goal, and I have to give credit to the below average Shane Long, German Shane Long, Werner. You know, he did very well for that goal. He does what he does on the tin. You know what I mean? And Johnson scores his credit.
Is he gone back on mute? You're on mute again?
I can't hear you.
So,
it's cutting out a bit.
You're cutting out.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah,
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So ultimately, very good run from Werner and a very good goal from a very good goal. Well, it was a tap in for Johnson. But yeah, ultimately, I think we've shown what we are as a team. We are a very good counter-attacking team, and I think we need to continue doing that, and just keep on doing that. Whether that is going to be good enough to achieve something this season, I question that at the moment because I think injuries will contain that. Whether we will run out of steam, we'll see what happens. That's why I say that fixture, because we've got a very hard fixture list after this. Very hard fixture list after this, and that's it. And that's where we're going to start seeing whether this squad is really strong. I don't think we're strong enough, and that's it for me. Again, showing again why I don't believe in the youngsters at the moment is that he brought on the youngsters after we're like 4-0 up. You know what I mean? So I think this is where the doubts are. You know what I mean? Because we can't listen. I you know me, guys. I'm very very consistent. You know what I mean? I've seen this before. You know, this is not my first rodeo as a Tottenham fan. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. I was going to do the story over the National Week. I left it because you know what? I'm getting bored of saying the same things. You know what I mean? You know. I'm going to try and switch it on. I'm going to, like I said, I've said it publicly. I've said it to you guys. I'm going to switch it up on Mr. Box Office TV because I'm saying the same things. You know what I mean? So, but I did say, big up to Sava on Football Heritage TV. I did say before. I said I did have a feeling that we were going to do something in this game. I did have a feeling. You know what I mean? Because Kulusevski loves. He's already said it as well. He loves playing. You know, he loves playing at the Etihad, doesn't he? So, you know, ultimately, my final thoughts are is that, you know, it's a great performance, brilliant performance from certain players like Sarr, Basuma. The midfield was very good today. We really taken control of that midfield in terms of counter-attacking, and that's it. Defence, solid. I have to be honest. Yes, there was a few mistakes from Poro, and that's it. The goalkeeper saved us in a few times, and the strike force, Solanke, brilliant in that sense, and holding up the ball, and Madison, absolutely majestic. You know what I mean? Kulusevski, very good, and Son. I think there's the only one I would say at the moment got tired. I think towards the got tired, and that's why he got brought off as Son, and that's it. But other than that, I cannot complain, guys, today. You know what I mean? But I still, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed though, because I can't just go on this performance. If you know Mr. Bot, if you don't know Mr. Bots by now, I don't really care if I get negative comments on this one because consistency is important for me, right? And that's it. And if they're gonna show me, they're gonna show me over the season and prove me wrong, right? And until then we'll see what happens. But good performance today. I won't say any more than that. That's all I'm going to say, and that's it. That's Mr. Box Office actually giving you some positivity. Don't get used to it, though. You know what I mean?
Alex, thank you, my brother. And obviously, we'll speak at some point this week, but
yeah,
on,
big up.
Spurs.
And also to Ben and Sim. Now I'm being positive. I'm going to get on the panel show now and battle the last word of Spurs sides. Yeah, that panel show that you have a committee meeting on. Yeah, yeah. Don't ignore the main event. Yeah. Never and don't ignore us Football Heritage TV, Dan as well, yeah? Hotspur Hood as well, yeah? You know where to find me, you know what I mean? Every single time. Big up, boys. You know, Spurs Kings TV, the most underrated, Marlon, and Smatty, the best thing on YouTube every single time, and that's it. And that's all I need to say, and that's it. Mr. Box Office out, and that's it. Take care, guys. I'm out.
Big up, Alex.
Big up, Alex. Big up, Box Office.
Yeah, big up, Box Office. Just a quick thing before we go. A famous bookmakers, I won't mention names, but said, you have to hand it to Spurs. Turning into prime 2011 Barcelona every time they play City, except when it means Arsenal will win the league.
Yeah, I saw that.
Pretty funny. Give it to them. Ash, it's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully everyone out there enjoyed it today. You know, it's Black Friday, right? Black Friday week. So We Are Tottenham TV gave you Spurs Kings TV, you're part of Black Friday, and a 4-0 victory to start off the week. Right, hope you all enjoyed. Please make sure you come over to Spurs Kings TV as well to hear from more me and Ash Matic. But the boys should be back probably tomorrow to do their match review of today. So make sure you tune in. And if you're not already, please like, subscribe, and comment to We Are Tottenham TV. But as always,
come on, you Spurs.